I figure out the key points from the title. The most important, the key point is the resource. What the resource we have, that's the important as an academicians or as a researcher, what the resource we had, that we should know it very clearly, and we should have great idea of what actually resource mean. Whenever we know what is our resources, then we can utilize it properly. Then come the resource utilizations. Suppose I have resource, but I don't utilize it, or is somehow not properly managed. So there's the question is utilizations, and after utilizations is come the efficiency. So we utilize it, but is it efficient or not? That's the question. And if it is considered as the cost side, then the purpose is the publication. So for only just for today's context, in this lecture, we just think the resources, utilizations effectively for the purpose of publication. And it's not just only publication, it's accelerate our publication. So I try to focus on overall discussion in this line. Okay. So first, I saw what is the resource, what is actually the meaning of resources. So resources are a kind of supply that can be drawn on by a person or organizations in order to function and execute plans and projects. So resources are all the things that needed to perform a project or plan, execute something. So what is the needed? Everything is resource when we execute something. And then in economics, we consider resource is as the factors of production, or other things is the service or other assets used to produce good and service that meet human needs and wants. So resource include the things that help to meet my need and want, my purpose. Okay, then in the personal level, what is our resource? At the personal level, the resource include obviously our money, wealth, okay, and then the others, our materials, stuff. So my laptop is a good resource, huh? And then my energy, my health, and then my expertise, time, and even my mood and motivation. These are the personal level good resource. And then comes in the professional. In our professions, we are in the academia or research field. The resource we have are the great resource we have is our student, our undergraduate students. But actually, we don't acknowledge them for our publications. We completely separated them as a resource. And we, some cases, we consider that if I have overloaded with the course that hamper my publication, that means it has a contradictory relationship with my publications and my teaching. But if we consider it in another direction, that if we convert our students, I'm talking the undergraduate students or master's student coursework, not the PhD or thesis student. In case of the coursework student, if we convert them into our resource, then they will help us a lot because we spend our huge time for them. In case of the time allocations, measure of our time we spend for the teaching and for the students and their marking, grading, their development, and lots of answering their questions. And now in the pandemic, it's the 24-hour duty. So students ask questions continuously, even midnight, day, morning, because they are doing assignments. So it's our responsibility to reply them because, okay, I'll come later on why. So we should consider students as a big resource. Whenever we consider a student as a resource for publication, then we can utilize our huge time and utilize it properly. So this is the mindset. First, we need to think and we consider a student also a resource. A student is not teaching or class load is not a contradictory of our publication. We need to merge them. So we are coming on later. Then our class and assignments, our supervisions and our external examiner or internal examiner, these are also resources. Our alumni, those who already passed, and our colleagues. Okay, our colleagues is a big resource. So we will discuss on it, how colleagues become a great resource for our publication. It's not competition somehow. but it should be collaboration and complementary, and it's a mutual growth. And then our institutions, our job, or the institution we work, its reputation is also a big resource. The library, the database we have, and our connections, our network, our link with surroundings, so with the professionals and non-professionals, so everyone, these are resource. Then our online visibility, or our recording courses in online, or our anything record uploaded in the online or publication, these are also a good resource. And our reputation is a big resource for our publication. So we'll coming on later how we can utilize this in the proper track. And then professional forum memberships or our affiliations with any other organization that should consider as a good resource for the academia for us. So if we consider first, if we bring our mindset up in this line that these are our resource for a publication, then we can utilize them. And most cases, actually, we don't consider them as a resource for publication. That's why they are untouched. But we should think in different way and motivate ourselves and divert our thinking, so it will help us in publication. So if we look our time, how we utilize our time, so we need our time allocation for personal purpose, our spiritual praying purpose, family time, our society, and job. So in the job, so what we do lots of things: administrative works, we do teachings and gradings, supervision, project works, seeking new grants, article writings, conference, and then come in the publications. So it's a very tiny part of our whole time allocation. So publication, when we go for the publication, then come the motivations when, suppose if we consider it's 24 hours and everyone has only 24 hours, we cannot exceed then this limit. But end of the day, somebody has more publications, somebody has less, somebody has 20, somebody in the year, in a 1 year, somebody has 20, somebody has 10, somebody has 2, or somebody has none. So this is the way how we design and why, or what is our motivation for publication. And if anybody publish more, it doesn't mean he don't participate in the other things. He also do the other things. He do his personal time allocations and obviously spend a particular time for publications. And that is also an overall a small part of whole job. So if we consider job is a major part of our whole time allocations, and within this job part, only publication is a small part. So why we publish, or what is our motivation behind this? So we should be clarify or get a good understanding first. Whenever we clear ourselves, make our position clear, then it will help us to plan our progress. So somebody published to fulfill job requirement. That's the very basic. Majority of us publish to just fulfill our job requirement. Our job has requirement for publications or promotion or KPI, fulfill the KPI, or getting the bonus, or in case of a student, they need to publish to get the degree, this degree requirement. Or sometimes we publish for university reputations, is university pressurized. Also some incentive is there, give the remuneration, monetary remuneration for publication. Or if we have project has requirement for publications. So these are just by force, almost by force, to fulfill our job requirements. And then if you go further proceed, then it's come the contribution on scientific community. I try to share my knowledge with my colleagues, or I try to invent something new, and I want to create a legacy of my knowledge. People will remember me, or I want to become the famous among the community, among the peer group, or in my scientific community. And I want more greater recognition, and people will know me, my visibility will increase, I'll become famous, like this. So this is the scientific motivation that I want to contribute for the scientific community from only for my colleagues. This research, this publication is focusing on my colleagues, those who are the academicians or the PhD students, those who in this field. And then come the private sectors or work for the money. Very simple. Huh? Don't mind, we will talk very openly today. A few issues need to talk very openly, otherwise we see nobody talk about this issue, but it should be clear. And to serve the private organizations or to serve the consultancy for private sectors or public sector, which brings our income, or serving the donor. So whenever we come to serve the donor has always their own agenda, and in somehow they are not in the fair. Very true. Most of the cases, donors are not fair. If you tell something in against their agenda, they don't like it, and you'll not get fund anymore. So in many cases, it is biased. And so here we serve the donor and serving the industry. Also, industry looks their copyright, their own product developments, or it actually goes to them. And few cases they give the charity or suppose the CSR, and that's the different case. And in that case, it's very small of the research. If we look the whole research of about the world, whole around the world, the research mostly funding by the industry, and that output goes to the industry. With the social science, actually don't get much fund. The funds go to the medical, and funds go to the engineering, and all the copyright and prototypes and everything goes to the for donor. So they are serving the industry, and in that cases they get the huge fund. As social science, actually we get very low fund, very low, in terms of the natural science or in terms of the medical or engineering. And we give the consultancy to agencies, and that's actually money making. So we effort here, and when we publish on this regard in the private sector, that's also one types of manipulated publications. Suppose the working papers of World Bank or working papers of UN, they are reports in one sort. You don't find anything contradictory, never ever in the UN reports or World Bank report, because these are serving the donor, and the donor has their own agenda. You cannot go outside of this agenda. By academicians, you should know where you're serving. And then it's come to the serve to the society, and this is more than your scientific community. And many cases it is come the voluntary basis, and that even this is very unfortunate that our academia also don't give proper weight when we consider the society. Suppose if you publish in a newspaper, and then it's not counted in the scientific community. It's not counted as your good contributions, or it is not weighted enough as a journal articles. Okay. So they, in these cases, people try to serve the society. Some group of us working for the action work. They like to work on the action basable works or community based works. Then look the public benefits or social benefits or policy benefits, the serving the community. Or some cases, this research do for the serving the religion or my own community, own interest, or ethnicity or ethnic groups, or and many cases these are not enough recognized, and those works on this area, they actually do it for the personal satisfaction. It's a self-actualizations rather than the correct appreciations from the institutions, and that we observe always. But still, people motivate to work on this ground. In this ground, we can see the blog is here, blogs, newspaper, Wikipedia. So people actually don't get any reward or any benefits from this. Actually, it is a voluntary basis. And the other things are somehow linked with our own benefits. Suppose if you fulfill the job requirements that's needed for the job, and that's need for our survival, very basic. And then if you serve the scientific community, if you want to build a legacy and you want to become a famous person on the field. And then if you look the private or money, this is money oriented, and the serving the society is completely voluntary basis. Now it's our perceptions, our individual choice, what we should do and where we go. I don't say which one is good or bad. There is nothing questions about good or bad. This is just a choice. And then comes the effective utilization of resources. If we know the resources, then it's come how we can utilize it properly. And in that cases, we have choice. This choice actually derives our resource utilization. We need to make a plan for many issues. Suppose some cases we look the short run and long run issues. Some mostly we are running for the short run and we try to survive because publication is a survival tools for us. And we do publish just for get the basic promotion, KPI, and very basic requirement. And some cases we make a plan for the long run, that how long run I will become a I can create a legacy, or I'll become a famous person, or I'll be renowned scholar in this field, or even if I can work on the social work, how people will know me. So that's the issue of the planning, utilize of resource, which resource I should use in the short run now quickly, and how can I allocate my resource for the long run. And then quantity versus quality. Okay, this is the issue that we are too much pressurized nowadays here in this developing world. So we try to go up very quickly, and we try to compete with the developed world. And that's the cases here. We compete with the quantity, not the quality. Because here they suppose this is a system we develop, that university need ranking, and that university for the ranking agencies are the commercial agencies, they are not the academicians. That's another very unfortunate thing. All the academic resources, ranking or publications or journals, everyone is run by the commercial peoples. They are the private organizations. We see the publishers, all the private organizations, they are not academicians. They are here to make money, and they just use the academicians. And the problem is here, our system also acknowledge them. Our system captured by this businessman, this syndicate. So we are following the QS ranking. Our ministry is following the ranking. So our universities are following the ministry, and we are following our universities. So this is a chain, and the change is actually ultimately we are reporting to the commercial people, the publishers or the rating agencies, even everything, even the university rating or WCSB or any other ratings, these are commercial purpose. Though they are it is association, but there are many things are there. It's not actually fully the academic motives or scientific motives. There are many other business behind. So the quantity, that's why these regions or Asia, Europe, or developing world or Middle East developing worlds, they are pressurized, their lecturer to publish more. Even the Singapore, the National University, Singapore, the faculty say this is too much pressurized to compete with the ranking. And in these cases, the Europeans are very relaxed. Europeans are very relaxed. There are hundreds of universities in Europe. They are too ancient, thousands year back universities, but they don't compete in the ranking. And we don't know about them, but they are not in the limelight, or they are not in this focus because they are not competing with the ranking. So when they are competing in the ranking, then this come to the quantity, because how many articles we publish in Scopus, and Scopus is a commercial organization, is a business entity, very simple. So they link with QS making the ranking for universities. So universities want to go up in the ranking, and they pressure the lecturer. So everything is in a system. So in this cycle, we are pressurized to publish more, and this quantity is increasing more. So the question is, if you publish more, then you need to sacrifice the quality. So the quality and quantity may go parallel or may contradict each other. Suppose in a good university, in a top school in USA, so their target is 5 articles. Their target is 2 articles or 3 articles in 5 years. So they give the target, the lecturer, their KPI is publish 5 articles or 2 articles or 3 articles in 5 years time. So they give a time frame, long time frame. It is not just 1 to 1 year assessment, that every year we assess and every year we evaluate the system? No. So they give a long time period. Whenever you have a long time, you can utilize it properly, you can plan it properly, and you can target it. But in case of the short term, this is very difficult because we cannot publish in good journals within a year, and that's need a very strong planning. And they look the quantity. They don't look the they look the quality, not so much quantity. Even my colleagues from Canada, they say that if we publish more than 5 articles in a year, we need to justify why I publish, how I can manage time. If I publish more than 5 in a year, that means I actually sacrifice my times from my family. I sacrifice my times from my student. I deprive my student. I deprive my family. I deprive myself, and I over focused on the publications. So whenever we publish more, we need to justify how I can manage it. So that's a way of the check and balance of quality. It's not just on the quantity. Whenever you say, okay, you can publish only 3 in 1 year, then you look the quality because you have enough time. But whenever you're pressurized to make more, and even it is not just pressurized, it's a system, it's a peer pressure is very strong. It's not the pressure from the university. Even the system is said only 2 articles as a KPI, but the peer pressure is too much. Every meeting, every discussions, and everywhere the people forget that we are human beings. Every discussion is just focused on the publication. Even two students talk, they don't talk about the community build up, they don't talk about the knowledge build up, they talk how many articles they publish, they talk when I can meet my requirements and go for Viva. So this is a sort of invisible pressure, peer group pressure, that's actually hampered the quality. So this is the institutional setup, or this is the setup of the culture. We cannot change it, and this depends which culture are you belongs to. If you are in the Asian culture, you need to follow whatever your Asian boss wants. So Asian boss and the Middle East boss and the European boss or developed country boss is different. I'm boss means the job requirement. Okay, so your boss what they want, you need to fulfill that. Otherwise, you cannot survive. That's your KPI. That's your promotion. That's your survival. That's your food. So in that cases, if you, I always say that you can select your boss, but you cannot determine what your boss say. So you have a choice. If you can select your boss from the Asian boss, you need to get prepared from these types of instruction, and you need to fulfill it. You after you join in the under the Asian boss, you cannot deny it. Or if you select your boss from the Europe, then you follow their trend. You cannot deny it. In Asia, we want quantity number, and we want scopus. It doesn't matter which scopus, which publisher. We want quantity. In Europe or in UK, they don't want quantity. They want ABS. They want ABS 3 star, 4 star. They don't bother 1 star, 2 star. In Australia, New Zealand, they want ABDC, A star and A. Don't bother B and C. In USA, they also focus on ABDC and also the ISI or Web of Science. So Middle East Web of Science and Scopus. So we are in this region, Asia and Middle East, those who are following the QS ranking, we are mostly focused on the Scopus. And that's the one sort of evil factories and one sort of pressure that create and that's change our motives from the academia to something as a mission, or the true mission of the academia is knowledge creation. So we are far away than that. We are just focusing on increasing our CB and extended the quantity of the CB or extended my position. Okay, then comes the publication and knowledge development. Knowledge is something different, and publication is different. And there are lots of good knowledge. If you create, you cannot publish it. There are lots of discipline. There's no journals, and if you publish, nobody value it because these journals are low graded. And the publications is a one sort of art and style and is experience. So I don't say it's a knowledge, it's something different types of practice. If you follow that format, you can publish. But if you create very good knowledge, but if you don't follow that format, you cannot publish. So knowledge creations are developing something innovative Oh, that's not the publication. Suppose you have a, very good system, you develop a very good system and you make the protocol for that, but that will not consider the publication. And then another is a popular topic and self-actualization. There are some topics that I like to work on, but no editor like it, no journal like it. Journals are different things. They are also market driven. Huh? There's so much popular topics. If you work on the popular topics, you can publish it very easily. There are lots of journals on the popular topic, and we'll come later on what is the motivations of the editor. But if you look your self-actualizations, I want to do something. You have very lack of experience, lack of scope there. So only you can do the self-actualizations after you get the professorship. When you get the professor, you are no more bothering about the KPI or something. Still, the professor has very high KPI, I think. So if again, if you are a professor or you are going to retire, in that case, you can do something very innovative or something self-actualization for your own motivation. But that this is not the real spirit of the academia, but this is the system. We need to follow this one. Then if we follow the research or project, then we should focus on this. Many of our colleagues, we focus on the research consultancy project, but we cannot publish. So these are two different things. If you give weight there, you cannot publish. And some cases research also uh, take long time. There are the real research that's actually you can create something or you can change the world that's take long time. So if you look at anthropology, one research take 20, 30 years. You need to go in some community and understand them. So they cannot publish in every year. Huh? So this is discipline to discipline different, but uh, the project and research, some cases, this also focus on publication. They give the requirement and we need to publish to close the project. And then the publication versus real life impact. Some works we just do repetition or just make the reflect of others works just for the increasing the number, and it has no real life impact. There are so many good articles and top journals, high impact factor journals, just the replica that's actually not make any sense or real life impact. Suppose there, nowadays there are lots of econometrics practices. Previously only econometrics practiced by the econometricians, and they are a very good legacy. Nowadays every discipline they use the econometrics and software, and people, most of the students, they have no need to learn what is the background going on. They just focus on the what the output software and then publish it. So the publications is mostly on the uh, quantity basis and mostly on the outcome basis, how much the number rather than the it's a real life impact, what is the actual benefit for the community or the society or the country, or even the knowledge creation, very minimum knowledge creations. So, and then come the individual works to the team works. Should I work alone or should I work the team? Should I build a team or team works? And that's the questions, how you make the plan. If you want more works, you need to do more team. So if you work on individually, you cannot actually do lots of work. And there are pros and cons both sides. Some cases if people say that okay, if you are doing individual work, that means you don't know how to work in the team or you cannot join a team. Or some cases you think okay, I don't want to share my knowledge, it's my knowledge, I'm capturing it my own, everything is my own effort. So in that cases you cannot actually grow more if you don't go for the teamwork. And then come the existing team to explore new teams. So we always like to stay in our comfort zone and don't want to go out. So you and me working for last 10 years, so forever we work on it. We no need to go outside, no need to explore anything. And another is the current and future job requirements. So we only try to fulfill our current requirement, not the future things. If you look, the requirements of the ministry changing very frequently from the last 10 years, and now it is going more difficult and difficult and difficult. And again, the promotion criteria is also changing very frequently, and it is more difficult. So the time you apply for the professorships, you should get the idea what the things will come. And if you just fulfill your current requirement, you cannot catch them. So you'll become lagging behind the requirement of that time. And then the issue of the diversifications or the focused area. If you work on the very narrow focused area on particular topics, and you go very deep down, then you'll be very scholar or very good knowledgeable on this particular area. But your works will read only very few people, because this is very concentrated works. Rather than if you diversify the knowledge, if you that combine with the different discipline, multidisciplinary works, then you have more focus, more visualizations, and people talk about this issue. You have the more wide reader. Okay. And then innovation versus the clerical jobs. Okay, this is something like the assignments when we do for the students. Some of us do once upon a time, long ago, we make an assignment. That is forever. Finish. Continue. Every semester, students do the same assignment. They submit the same thing. This is the clerical jobs, because we think assignments, classwork is like as a burden for my publications, is a contradictory with my publications. So we try to minimize our effort or minimize our time engagement with these things, rather than we put our time in the publication or innovative works. But we can make the innovative assignments. We can change the assignment, and if we make the assignment in a way of the article, then students also get the benefit from this. Students also know something new rather than just all the traditional bookish assignment. So that's the we do the case study for the student. But rather than the case study or side-by-side case study, nowadays everything is online and we cannot take the exam most cases, and we focus more on the assignment. So you have a scope of huge innovative assignment development, and these innovative assignments will become your article. And that's where coming how you do it. Then self-centric versus the open-minded. Be open-minded, give you benefit to your students, give benefit to your colleagues. This is a try to build a community, build a scholarly community, build your friends. You will not a good leader until you look for the others' interest. As long as you look just on your own interest, then you are the self-centric and you are not a good leader. If you're a good leader, you have lots of followers, and that will come only when you have the open-minded people. Okay, then come the barriers of the publication. So what are the barrier for your publications? You need to assess yourself. What is your barriers? So lack of motivation. The first barrier is the motivation. There's no incentive. Okay, and this is changing every year. Many universities don't give incentive, and many universities give lots of clause and conditions for incentive. And the incentive they give is some cases insignificant. So people don't bother. Huh? Rather than I do something else, I get some money, or I can use my time in other purposes. Huh? So I'll be happy. I can spend time with my family. That's my incentive, better incentive than writing. Then lack of peer support, and peer groups are not supporting people. Okay, if I write one article, I don't know who can help me, who can check it. And nowadays we are so much creepy that we cannot share our article, our knowledge, our idea, anything to anybody. I think, okay, if I send to him, that means I need to add him in the article. So these are mindset up we created here. This is really very bad mindset up, that something I can show my friends, my colleagues. That doesn't mean I need to include him. He can read it, he can give the feedback, or even some cases we are shy, we don't want to share. So he will know what I'm doing. Oh, what's the problem? He know what we're doing. It should be the peer helpful mind, but there are lack of peer support, especially these regions. And if you go the Europe, US, developed nations, because they don't bother about the knowledge hijacked. They actually try to promote the knowledge. Okay, suppose I have an idea, good idea, but you hijack my knowledge, you hijack my idea, and you write a publication, you write an article. Very nice. I should be happy because you do my job. I have no need to do that one, because whenever I have an idea, it's my responsibility as a human being or an academia, with my responsibility in this profession, that I should establish this knowledge for the people, so people will get benefited. But rather than other people do it on behalf of me, I should be very happy. Okay. And there are millions of knowledge, and knowledge never stops. If you share, your knowledge will not finish. Suppose I said my student, don't utilize your brain. If you use your brain, one day you have no more brain. You finish all of your brain. It's not like that. If you use your brain, the brain will be increase. So sharing means you will also get sharing from the others. And we also don't get enough feedbacks. Some cases everyone is too busy here, too busy. Okay, if we send something to anyone, okay, after 1 month he said it's still not open. So that's create lots of motivational problem, lack of motivations to proceed with this community, with this idea. And then the difficult to start. So we don't know some cases uh, where to start or what to do, and or as there is no deadline. It's not the student assignment. The student know the deadline, is to know the guideline, is to know the assignment, so they can do it easily. But we cannot do it because it's open for us. Then the process is really difficult. Those who enter the first time in this process, and this is really very difficult for them. You write, and it takes long time. Then you submit, you get rejection, you get very bad comments. Okay, and then you get rejection after rejection after rejection, and that is a very difficult process, demotivating process. And then come the immediacy. This is the very bad things. It's a very emergency. I need the article by this month because I am applying for the promotion. I need the article by December because this is KPI. I need to submit it now because my project need to close. I need to submit it now or publish it now within this timeline. Otherwise, I cannot submit my thesis. So this is a big crap work, and the deadline pushes us to downgrade our works, downgrade our journals, selection of journals. So uh, and we know that acceptance and publication take huge time, and after acceptance it also take long time. So immediacy, or the system that I mentioned, that year-to-year basis KPI, year-to-year assessment, and the assessment criteria for within this year, that actually pushes us to go for the low-grade journal, low-grade works. And then comes the point is publish or perish. Previously, we talked that publish or perish. If you don't publish, your idea gone, nobody knows about you, it's over, you perish. But nowadays it's a publish and perish because we have too much publishing and too much low-grade publishing. That means once upon a time, or you published long ago a rough work. Okay, that's time suppose you are the new lecturer, you publish a craft journals, but you will not in that position for lifetime. After that, when you become a professor, you're a very renowned person, your students see your works and you say, oh, you published this blacklisted journal, huh? That's the thing. So nowadays say publish and perish. You once you publish, you cannot change it anymore. It's already there, it's visible. The world is now open to everyone. You cannot hide your article, it's visible. So this is true for everyone. So be careful about the publications. If you publish, you cannot remove it anymore. It's finished. So it's a matter of your reputation. And then you know your resource and plan accordingly. So after you get the idea what is the problem behind this, and what is the barrier, how you overcome the barrier, then you design what is the resource you have, because we are in different stage of maturity and different stage of experience of publication. Somebody has published 50 articles, somebody has 20, somebody has one, somebody has only conference or book chapters. So they are different level of experience and expertise, and our resource is also not that much. Somebody has huge networks. Suppose if you ask me that how can I publish, I have my own English editor, I have my own reliable English editor, I have my own statisticians, I have my own uh, person who can work on the literature review, very strong. I know somebody who is in my good friend, good colleague in my team, those who are expertise in particular area. So I have the networks in every particular area, in every side. So I know how can I utilize my resources. Suppose I have 5 statisticians in my team. Okay, somebody is very good in starter, somebody is very good in PLS, somebody is good in SPSS. So now I know all of these softwares are in different purposes and they serve different things. And somebody is know the artificial intelligence. So now I can utilize them on based on which things I need, which articles I need. I can collaborate with them. I cannot be expert of the artificial intelligence. I cannot be expert in the all the softwares and all the new methodology coming, because the softwares and the methodology estimations are coming very frequently. The estimations and the software I use in my PhD is obsolete now. Okay, that's just if I write anything based on my PhD works methodology and PhD work software, that version, nobody will publish it now, because the industry is very frequently changing. So, and it's not possible for me to learn 10 software continuously and all the new methodology continuously. No, you need to have a team who knows this. Suppose one person is very good in PLS and he knows all the updates coming in PLS, so he update himself and he's expert on this. Utilize him, bring him in your team, and he is expert on only this issue. Very fine, he work on this issue. Everyone shouldn't do everything. We know the competitive advantage theory or absolute advantage theory, the trade theories, but actually that's also very helpful. So you have no need to do everything, but once you know one thing, do it very good. Suppose you know the methodology, do the methodology very good. You know survey, do the survey very good. Write 10 articles on survey and write 10 articles by using SPSS. Then you will be the master on this issue. Then you focus on the other sector. Suppose you like to write the introduction sections of the literature review section. Focus on it. Write 10 articles on introduction. Only 10 articles. You work only one area, then allocate the works among your team member. So you will be the expert on this issue. So suppose somebody need 1 month to prepare a literature review. Somebody needs 2 days to prepare a literature review. Same thing, because the expertise they grow. Somebody needs 1 day to make a good estimations and make the good model fit, and the other person need 1 month, he still cannot make a good model because he's not expert in this area. So if you bring all the expertise, good mind people in a team, you can make a good articles within 1 week, within 2 weeks. Can possible, because everyone is very expert. What I can do within 2 days, it will take 2 months for you. So why not we allocate the resources among the article and make it very efficient and good one? Because I know this part very well. So whatever I write, once I write it, that's all. That's fine. Nobody can touch it and nobody can comment on it. So in that cases, when we finish the article, when we submit it, nobody will give the comments. Otherwise, what happened? We submit, get rejection, submit, get rejection, submit, get rejection. That's a continuous process, and that's make us demotivated. So know your resource. Know what the resource you have. Know your colleagues, know your networks, know the people, know how can you utilize people. So this is not I'm using other people. This is the collaborations. We are jointly working each other and we grow jointly. It's not I just betray with you or I just grow by utilizing you. It's not like this. It's a combined approach. It's a collaboration. It's networking. It's a joint approach. Now whole academia is going collaboratively, going up. So know how you do you work. Your work pattern is different than your colleague. So maybe you can work 2 hours, or maybe you can work 5 hours. So up to you. You have a long family and you stay with family. You need to give more time to your family. Okay, so you have less time. But your family members is not working. They can manage them. So you have lots of time. So to prepare, know how much time you have. How can you design your works? Okay, then design what do you want actually. You just want to survive to fulfill the KPI, or you want to become someone renowned, or you want to make a legacy in the place. That's up to you, your decision. Then what is your capacity and resource? Consider all the resources, bring all the capacity and bring all of them in the tables, and then make the plan and think how can you utilize them? How can you engage them with your works? Then how do you improve your existing works? Look what have you already done, what do you have, then you try to improve it, or things if it is useless then bring something new. So make a realistic plan, make a time and make habit to do the work continuously. Just we have 10 projects and never finish anyone, and in the middle we just stop everything. That's not a good thing, and you cannot do anything by this. So you should the nature to stick with one thing and finish it. So think more than writing. Nowadays the problem is we write lots but think less. We have no time to think, just write, right? Because on an average every day, whenever we publish too much, we need to write too much, and no time to think. Because I told you this publication is a mechanism, is a format. It has no need to knowledge. It has no need to think. Most cases, if you just follow the format, you put the things in the format, it publish. But you make lots of creative things, but not in the format, you cannot go. And this is most cases, more general cases. This is not something I'm particularly talking any issue. There are always exceptions, and there is something different. I'm talking in these regions, what are we practicing? And the developed world, their thinking is different, their style is different, their quantity, quality is different, and their pressure is also different. They can think cool head. You cannot think under pressure. You cannot think under pressure. So you need to think, the creativity will come on the cool head. And then we need to think more continuously than rather than more writings. And don't try to boil down your whole research, whole idea, everything into in one article. And another mistake we do, we start thinking by ourselves rather than we looking the literature. But look at the literature, what the people's already talk, what the people's already done. Read more, read more, read more, read more. Then you will get the idea. Then you can write easily. But we are the opposite. We write more. We do ourselves more rather than looking at what other people do. We only look other people do to cite in the article. So rough is better than nothing. One can edit. No, you cannot edit nothing. So just start writing. Okay, if you are, that's the, again I tell you what is your status. If you are the very beginner, you need to write. So if at least you have something, then you can progress on it. But if you are advanced, you are the intermediate, advanced. If you target 10 articles in 1 year, if you target 5 articles in 1 year, your approach is different than the beginner. And one thing is, don't rush. There is no shortcut in success. I need to publish it now within 1 month, within 1 year, within 3 months. Because I need to close this thing, I need to achieve this. Okay, don't rush. This is not something something machine. This is a creative works. Creativity cannot come based on time. Creativity takes time. Creativity takes time. As knowledge is something different. This, I'm again telling, we are in different dimensions. We are not thinking about the real flow, real spirit of academia. We are go beyond that. We are just fulfilling the requirement. Okay, then set up your timeline. You establish a time, how can you finish it, when you can finish it, and set up a deadline. So try to meet up the deadline as like a student fill up their assignment. So it will make arts to work on it. Another issue is you can follow a theory, this 21 days theory, that every day you works on 1 hour or the same particular time. So if you practice it 21 days, 3 weeks, so it will become a habitual works. So try to do it. Otherwise, we actually cannot manage our time. Okay, then come the students. Utilize our resources. Our students is our big resources. So, okay, I just share one experience. It's not, I design every semester assignment for every group, separate assignment. And every assignment is very innovative. All of my students say this assignment is very challenging. In the performance report, they said that this lecturer give very challenging assignments, and that's very difficult in our level. But he's very helpful, and we get him every time whenever we knock him, even the midnight. Whenever they stuck anywhere, they get help, no problem. If they send any message midnight, I reply instantly. I try to reply them instantly because I don't want to stop them or wait for them. So if they get the enough feedback, if they get enough resources, if they get enough support, they can do any creative works. How much challenging, it doesn't matter. They take challenge. They like challenge. Students like challenge, and they can take challenge. How difficult tasks you give doesn't matter if you support them. But our problem is we don't want to spend time for the students, and we consider them as a side work, and we don't engage them in the latest knowledge. We engage them in the bookish knowledge. The knowledge is come in my mind, that is the latest one. This is just born by now. And then whenever I write it as a conference, that is already 6-month old knowledge. So conference article is the 6-month old knowledge. And then when it's published in the journal, that is already 1 year, 2 years old knowledge. The knowledge created 2 years back, but it takes long process to publish. And when many people publish after 10 years, the knowledge get matured, and then it's come in the book. So any bookish knowledge is at least 10 years back knowledge. So why don't we engage our students in the very latest knowledge? Engage them, and you can imagine what the feedback they will give you. They will give you better feedback than what you think. You think one direction, they give you many few other directions. They help you to accelerate your direction, your knowledge. You just support them. This is a collaborative, and a student is more collaborative than your colleagues. Too much collaborative. If you trust your student, if you help them, they will help you and they will give you return lots. You can't imagine. Huh? You can't imagine how a student can give you, but you need to give them, utilize them, use their brain. You never think only by your own brain, use their brain. Give them the very challenging tasks. The task is not just a manual work, the clerical job, but the intellectual level tasks. And everyone is intellect, and many cases they are more intellect than me. I share one experience. One student give one idea, and then he submitted an assignment on this idea. Later on, I flourish the idea, I make it, and I got the international grants. I got the fellowship from the Frankfurt School based on that idea. So this is something a student can give you. Don't underestimate the student. They have better idea in many cases, and they know many things latest than us. We are somehow old people. Old, our brain is also old. Give them tasks, engage them in your research, engage them, and they will give you better things. Engage them, and if possible, publish with them. I publish my assignment student, undergraduate or master student, rather than my PhD student. PhD students think like worse than me, but my undergraduate student thinks better than me. Okay, so if you deal this issue, then you can understand what I mean. So develop your idea, design the format of your research in article or journal proposal. So design it as a completely as an article. Give the full direction what you want. Suppose in the abstract, first you give the one sentence of the background, one sentence about the problem, one sentence about the objective, one sentence about the methodology, one sentence about the findings, one sentence about the recommendations, and one sentence about the novelty or contribution of the article. So if you teach your students, you write the abstract of this assignment following this direction, write it clearly, then student follow whatever you say, exactly same thing, and they can do it. And then in the introduction, you just segregate the whole introduction. In the first paragraph, like write the broad issue. Second paragraph, explain the broad issue or the subject topic. Third paragraph, explain the problem. Fourth paragraph, explain the objectives. Then fifth paragraph, explain the novelty. Then they can follow what you do. Just explain whole the article style with them, and they can do it. They can make the article as an assignment completely. Okay, then the quality is different things, but at least they try. They try to make you something. So then I'm coming how you improve it. Then segregate the requirements of the article into different small parts. Okay, suppose you want to work on the student or the public's attitude in the COVID-19, how the mental behavioral change of the people. Engage your students. They are the good samples. They can consult with their family. They can experience their family family experience. They can share the family experience and write the case about the family experiences in the COVID, how they make the family bondage, how the start contradictions within the family, how they know each other better. So how COVID bring in the bondage in the family relationships, how COVID brings the mental pressures of the student or the family. So students are the good samples on this issue. They can design you in better way, and you segregate the whole things into different groups and give the different groups on working on it. And then later on in the semester break, when you have all the assignment, you can merge them, you think them, update them, improve it, and draw a guideline for each step by step for them. Give assignment to a student to follow the guideline and complete a small part of your full work. Design the full work. Suppose you want to design a survey, then you segregate the works and give them in different parts, or they do you survey. Or suppose if you want to update the data from the online, so they will collect the data from different websites and make a compilation of the data. So, and motivate them, monitor them, and guide them properly. They are actually working as your RA. And another thing is, this should be within the subject context, and within the subject context we give the assignment, we give the case. So you design your own assignment, your case within the subject content, but it will help you for publications. Is knowledge creation. Don't underestimate your student. This is the something crazy. We underestimate our students and don't engage in the knowledge creations. We think they are they are not the knowledge creator, they are the knowledge receiver. What I deliver, they just receive it. No, they can give you better feedback. So then you can aggregate the full works. Then you look what the missing part, what the missing thing they in the whole work. So you fill up the missing part and look the repetitions, avoid the repetition, you arrange it, and you make it as a good article, or you make it, then submit it in the, again next semester, another group of students, give it to the other group of students. They works on the unfinished works that's finished by the previous group. So they works on it and update based on this work. You give them this work and say, okay, these are the missing thing, link, include this one and integrate here and create the knowledge. So this student also get the idea. Utilize your students. You have lots of students, and utilize them. Think how to utilize them. If you don't know, still we can consult more. How can we utilize our students? And this is very helpful for them. That will create their career too much. Our PhD student cannot think because they are not involved in the creative thinking at undergrad level. Our PhD students are, I'm sorry to say, they are too much dumb. They have just CGPA and come, and then they don't understand what I mean. Okay, this is very unfortunate. At PhD level, a student don't understand what the supervisors say. We say one sentence, they think different things because they did not practice the creativity at undergrad level. And our academic system didn't include them in the creative thinking. We just make them bookish. Okay, then develop a strong professional networks. Your networks is your good resource for publications. Maintain a very good relationship with your peer groups. Suppose when you are doing PhD or masters, at that time you have the colleagues who also are the students at that time. Now they are in the job, they are in the different fields, they engage in different works. So you can hang up with them, not just high, but also professional way, how to deal the good works, how to make something better, how to make the some outcome jointly, because very soon you need to collaborate for many issues. For job, you need to go for the good jobs or seek the jobs, or even to fulfill the KPI, publications, fellowships, or other affiliation, or any types of external involvement. Nowadays, this also include in our KPI. You need to bring the association with other institutions. You need to have fellowships, etc. And you also need the external examiners. Even in your promotion time, you also need to select somebody as an examiner. Even as a review, when you need to submit article in journals, you need to give reviewer list. Suppose you give the reviewer those who are a very good friend, and these are in the good school. Okay, if you say kawan from my school, they will not bother. Hey, editor will not send the article with your kawan. But you have a friend, he is now in a good university in another country. If you put his name, then article will go to him. And if your article goes to your friend, you have 50% chance to accept the article. An editor send to one person from your suggestion, one person from their list. So at least 50% have a chance to accept of your article or minor correction, not reject. Okay. If you don't get the reject, that's a great thing. You can improve it and you have a chance to publish. But if you get the rejection, that's the gone. Huh? And you also need the grant. Suppose now there are many grants, international grants. Without collaboration, you cannot get it. If you want grants, you need to collaborate. If you want European Union grants, you need to collaborate with European universities. If you want to Japanese grant, you need to collaborate with Japan. If you want the Canadian, American grants, you need to collaborate with that country. So now you need friend from there. So build up your network and increase your visibility. Reputation. Your reputation is your visibility. Your Google Scholar, ResearchGate, your repository. If anybody search in the Google, they need to find you. So this is also your resource. Many people knock based on our findings. They find me in the online. So people knock us, send lots of email, message in academia, in ResearchGate, and they find us for the collaboration based on the reputation and visibility. So this is also your resource. Utilize it, and then join workshop, join the meetings and academic and social programs, different forum, engage them. And but the problem is nowadays we are talking too much, the useless thing. Even we receive now in the lockdown period, we are doing office 24/7. We receive messages continuously, and this is really too much bothering, because you cannot think, you cannot do any creative work whenever you need to check your message every second. Okay, you need concentration. If you, for writings, for doing something innovative, you need concentrations, but you need to check the message very continuously. People are sending message useless. Previously people send message beneficial. Nowadays we just send message. Suppose there is one boy, one person send a message which is beneficial, useful, and then 50 people send continuously reply on this issue, useless. And all the issues, suppose there are many issues, that's actually cultural matters, I think, or we are developing this pop culture. Suppose sometimes we are no more personal. We are, it's common, we want to show up. If I want to wish a birthday to other person, I should wish it personally. If anybody is dying, or anybody died, or any sorrow matter happen, I should make a personal relationship. I should message him personally. But the culture we have developed it everywhere. Not, it's not a criticism. It's the culture. I'm mentioning the culture that we send the message in the whole group. And whole group, suppose one body's birthday, one person is birthday, and the birthday wishes by 100 people. So I need 100 message, but they're not wishing me. They're wishing that guy. Why not we wish that guy personally? This is his personal matter. It's not the issue of the whole 100 people. I need every 100 people read the 100 message 100 times. This is the what a waste of time. And the most important problem is you cannot concentrate on your work. So you cannot do anything creative work. And it is also instructed that now in the pandemic time, we should see messages continuously. We should reply instantly. But so much useless message come that if you look the message the whole day, you actually cannot do anything. And this is 24 hours thing. Okay. So we should be self-responsible. We should filter, self-filter. We should understand what I don't like, that other people also don't like. So this is the thing we should filter. Okay, by the way, it's individual issues. It's nothing personal. Okay? So don't go conference only for the recreation. Now, okay, another culture is that we go conference for recreation because our KPI need to go in the conference, or we go conference to explore a new place or fulfill the KPI, or spend the project money. Huh? Project has the money, I need to spend it, so go some places. But rather than, we should find out a good conference, good collaboration, good network, and go in a good conference. And truly speaking, Malaysian conference are not international conference. It's only Malaysian conference. And most cases, it's only university conference. And very rarely we find the Malaysian conference has any peoples from the West or other country, or diversity from different nations. So my suggestion is try to engage in the international conference. These are really truly internationals, organized by true international body or top school or top universities. If one conference organized by the Oxford, you see the participants from all over the world, and the participants from suppose the 200 universities. But if you see the conference organized by any Malaysian university, the participants are only from 3 or 4 Malaysian universities, and mostly 80% are from the organizer university. So the knowledge, the idea, and the networking, we should consider many issues to develop this issue. And their website is conferencealert.com. If you go this website, you will see thousands of conferences in every country every day, all over the world, so many conferences. So make your plan. When is your suitable time? Look at the association, look at the good conference, and submit it there. So you'll get the idea from the conference, and you get the good networking. And one tips is always, whenever you apply for the conference, always write for fee waivers, for travel grants, for accommodation. And if you write, they will. If you write 100% conference, at least you get 20%. So you need to go 20%. No need to go everywhere. Somebody, people will reduce your fees, or you can apply also some funding agency, those who give the conference relevant cost. And in the conference, the problem is we don't like to talk. We need to talk. You need to make the friend. If you don't talk, how you make the friend? Whenever we go conference, what we do? We go as a team from the same school to friend together, go there and stay together, sit together and visit together and come back together. So no new friend, no new talking. And this is very unfortunate. Okay, people go from, suppose, two friends from the same school go there, and they should sit in two different places at the time of lunch, at the times of food. No, they sit together. So how can you grow with other networking? If you sit with your friend all the day and you talk only with your friend, that's how you bring your network, grow your network. So after you come from the conference, maintain a Excel or record of the people to whom you meet. So if you bring the visiting card, keep them in the note in the Excel file, keep them note. And maybe, okay, you meet one person in a conference, he's from the, suppose, from the UK. So after 3 years you want to go in UK just for holiday, then don't know anybody in UK, just you can knock that guy, huh? That once upon a time I met you in that conference. You need to give the reference. So give them the reference. You write the reference. I know you in that time. So can you help me? Where should I stay, or any precautions? What is the weather now, or how can I go the metro? Any direction? Then he will willingly help you. This is the resource. You need to know what is your resource. So you need to understand how you utilize your resource. Don't just throw the resource here and there and don't bother. Then you cannot grow. So all of this issue need to consider, and write the email, build the social network, know their updates. It's not just whenever you knock only for your need. No, you just also engage with them in different occasion, and you also give them your information, what is going on here, and apply. Also look the external examiner scope, or there is a summer school scope, or the part-time teaching scopes, or you have the workshop there, membership association. Look in different way. Knock them. Nobody will come and give you. You need to knock everyone's door. If you knock 100 doors, one door will be open. So knock them. You need to knock them, and don't knock everywhere. Knock the appropriate place. You know that guy for last 5 years. You have sometimes contact with him, and then knock him, and then he will reply. And you knock one person you never see, never meet, he will not reply anymore. And try to build a good relationship rather than just knock on your need basis. Then prioritize your value, personality, reputation, rather than just the minority gain. Okay, I just need this one. No, build the relationship. Look for the long-term relationship, long-term benefits rather than the short-term focus. Then find the suitable co-authors to make a team. Find the suitable co-authors. So the co-authors, if you make a team, you find your two co-authors from different places, but be diplomats. Be diplomats when you find the co-author, when you find the negotiation. Nowadays, the publications is not just on manuscript. Once we think publication is just the article, we have a good article, we can publish, but no. A manuscript is only one part of the whole publication. You need funding, good funding, because a good articles need to check by English editor several times. First times you need to submit, you need to check by English editor, but English editor is not the Malaysian English editor. If you submit in the good journal, you must check manuscript by the native speaking English editor, and native speaking English editor need money. They don't understand ringgit, they want dollar. So you need to spend in dollar, $200, $300 per article English checking. And still journal says it's not enough. You need to check it again, it's not good. So there are lots of money needed if you go for the good journals. If you aim high, you need to spend high. And this is the reality, because those who are submitting, they are the native speaker. If you want to submit a journal where the Oxford professor published, you need to maintain your article in that level of quality. So your English should be at the English of the Oxford professor. But we don't know English. We are not the English people. So we need to pay for the professional editor to make it at that level. And that's need huge money, huge money. One thing we don't understand, we submit article and it got rejection. We submit article, got rejection so much. The main reason is the English. The editor just read one sentence and say, oh, it's useless. Because I cannot make it, because the content is very good, knowledge is very good, everything is very fine. But this guy cannot write the article at my standard. This guy never ever write the article in that level of English. So my readers, I cannot show it to my reader. So the journal, the reader of this journal is the Oxford professor. He don't read this English. So this will demolish my reputation. That's why editor instantly reject. Who don't bother about the knowledge? Many things, no, don't bother about you, the quality of what the knowledge you created in the article. Never go down. No, just read one sentence and say, oh, this is rubbish. Because his English is so poor, it cannot go in this journal. Even if he check English 100 times, cannot go, because you already created a very wrong perception to editor. So at the time of submission, need to check by professional English editors. Even this is another case. If you go the cheap English editor, you get the cheap article. You get the cheap quality, and the cheap quality cannot go in the review process. And then it's come the RA. You need to pay RA for the similarity or similarity reduction, or the finding the appropriate references, or arranging the format, many things. And then submission fee, publication fee. There are lots of journal huge publication fee. Well, one thing I tell you, we get some incentive from universities, suppose $400-500 to publish as a publication fee. So these for those journals who publish by $400-500, these are useless journals, mostly the fake journals or the predatory journals. The top journals, open access journals, charge 2,000, 1,500, 5,000 USD. They are real journal and they charge huge money. But the money we pay, because we try to put our two leg into boat, and that's make everything mess up. If you go for the money basis, go top journal, pay high money. Don't put $500 for one journal. Those journals you pay 500, those are useless journals. Those are the predatory journals. If you pay 5,000, there's the top journal. There's high impact factors. If you look the editorial board, you see the all from the Imperial College, Cambridge, Oxford, and they charge very high. No problem on this issue. And there are also some informal costs. If you go through a conference or you go through a special issue, a special arrangement, then you need to pay. So money is a big deal. Money is a big deal. And on an average, if you want to go publish, you need to spend 1,500 ringgit minimum. So on an average, my expenditure, I'm telling you, is around 1,500 per article, just for English editing, for RA fees. Or if I go through conference or a special issue, anything. But if you go the payment based on the fee based publication fee, that's huge, $2,000, $2,500. Find the network. If you don't have the money, find the network who has the money. There are many people who has money, who has project, but cannot manage time, cannot write article. Collaborate with them. And then another group, network. Your article is very good, you have money, but you don't know the connection of the editorial board, or you don't know the guest editor or special issue. It's very, you get just rejection after rejection after rejection. So this is a mechanism. If you want to go very quick, make a team. The team has a good manuscript. That's the first thing. Your manuscript should be good. But if your manuscript is little bit low grade, you have good network, you can improve it. If you have a good funding, you can improve it. So all of this works together. This is not just a one-man show. It's a combined effort. If you want to go in the top journal, you want to manage time quickly, you want to meet the deadline, you need all of three. If you have one thing lacking, you cannot go. And if you want to target 10 articles in 1 year, must need all of these three with good team. Okay. Then the point is come how be smart to negotiate as the co-author. Okay. So some cases we said, oh, why I add somebody? But somebody is, if you add somebody, he has good connection and he can make it easy for you. Somebody add somebody who has the money, who can make it a good article and you can publish it. So otherwise, without the help of them, you cannot publish it. So article is not just as a knowledge. Article publication is a combination of all of these three things. So the weightage will be more who contribute knowledge. then weighted who contribute fund, then weighted who contribute networking. But try to understand and accept this. If you don't understand, don't accept this, you will actually in trouble. And nowadays, if we consider this is ethical, long time ago we say ghost author. Now nobody talk about it because those who talk the ghost author, they are now become a ghost author. So this is no more a ghost author issue. It's the issue of contribution. Your network is a contribution. People know you. You are your reputation. You are in a good university. You are a good school. Your reputation is a big deal. You don't bring it as a very cheap one. Your reputation is your resource. You have money. You have a project. You did lots of hard work to bring the project, to bring the money. That is your reputation. That's your contribution. That's your work. It's not come very easily. And you don't have networks, you don't have the money, you don't write the project, you don't have the money, you write, you have knowledge, you spend money, time, you give the manuscript. So it's the effort of your time. Time means you make the manuscript. It's the effort of your project, grant, research, that's your funding. If effort of your networking, that's the connection. Without combining all of this, you cannot publish in good journals. And if you look the good journals, top journals, high impact journals, those who publish very rapidly, too much, all the following the same model. But now we are in the different world. It takes long time to understand what the first world doing. Okay. So if you understand very quickly, that will be very easy for us. Okay, and then focus the building a bondage, long-term benefit rather than just a one-to-one calculation. Okay, I give you one, you give me one. No, that's not a bondage. That's just a calculation. And if you do relationship, doesn't follow the calculation. Relationship is not math. Okay, if you give somebody, one day he will give you. That's the one. If you try to build a bondage, maybe you include him in your research, he include you in his another project, another thing, another publication. So it's not just one-to-one calculation, it's a different dimension. Then look the other helping hand. So find out your friends, colleagues, and we should also have the mentality to help others. Somebody send me one article, please check it. It does not mean I'm the co-author of this article. No, this is the things I'm helping him. And without any good contributions, the contribution in the forms of any three, I mentioned any three of these contributions, we shouldn't be included there. Just for reading one article, giving some comment doesn't mean I'm the co-author. Or I shouldn't expect this, but this is the things happening. So, and then must seek guidance from the experienced person. Okay, look the experienced person who has the idea in this article, in this area. Send him, take the permissions, take the collaborations. No need to add him, just get the idea. And I'm very much sorry to mention about some people. They don't want to say anything. If I ask them something, they said, no, first you need to commit with me. Okay, that's really very bad things. That's from my real experience. So ask colleagues, friends to read your papers. Who will read your papers? Nobody has time. If you have a good friend, ask them to read it and give comments. If anything you don't understand, tell you. So you improve it and you can submit it. And you can also send it to the editorial board members or send it in the conference. So people will read it and give the feedback on it. So one thing is very careful when you send the articles outsider, somebody you don't know, you cannot trust. In that cases, first make the articles upload in the repository, and then you can send it. Okay, repository upload also has some problem. Then many journals don't accept the repository upload or working paper upload. Okay, and if you upload it, then you need to re-edit everything. And some repository also don't catch by the similarity report by Turnitin. They only catch by the cross-reference. So cross-reference used by journals. So our universities are not using cross-reference. Our university is Turnitin. Turnitin also don't get these types of repository. So these are some issues you need to consider before you submit. So, and you should have some helping hand. This is very essential, at least from the English editing. It's very, very essential, very essential. If you have a good friend from UK, then if he edit your English very easily or freely, or you have a friend in English department who can edit your English, improve it freely, that's a big relief. Or somehow you should have somebody who can read and edit your English. Okay, even the Englishman, native English speaker also need to edit their article because professional English is different than your colloquial English. and find out a reliable expert in the subject area, especially the technical issue statistician, software knowledge person. Suppose now you want to make a articles and you want to incorporate the artificial intelligence, you want to incorporate the big data, you want to incorporate in the traditional software what we use, the SPSS or the Stata or EVOs or PLS, then you need people. Okay, include the people, give them their value, add them as the co-authors, engage them in the projects and make it good and distinguish than others, and then it will become publishable in good journals. Okay, there are a few issues about the ethics and reality and gray areas. So some ethics is not fixed matter, ethics is changing. Okay, sometimes people say this is unethical now, if you don't practice now it is ethical. Okay, so there are, so you need to think by yourself, is there any syndicate in the publication process? Is it free or is it syndicate? Yes, there is syndicate. If you see all the top journals, editors, they publish each other's article in each other's journals, and there are lots of syndicates here. But in our level, we are the very small guy, we publish in normal journal Scoopers. So that's not the big matter. But if you go in the good journals, you'll face lots of things, lots of discriminations, as Asian discrimination, religious discrimination, affiliation discrimination. There are many issues. And then even the topic discipline was discrimination. Some discipline people don't bother. Some discipline they're like the way too much, and there's the popular topic, useless topic. Popular topics, many of the popular topics is useless, or they have very minimum value. But now these are the people like this, okay, editor like this, and this is the popular topic. Okay, so then the networks or relationship is a matter, or some cases your project member or funding. Suppose we have a project of 5 members, 2 members bring the project and they do everything, other 3 don't know anything at all project. So should we include them or not? So these are the issues you need to deal individually. But these are the gray area, but you should understand the dealings and negotiations, diplomatic. That's again, there is a bondage or relationship and the effort. So our corresponding author, yes, corresponding author is a very big deal now. Okay, 2 ways. One is journal wants the corresponding author should be the developed country, good school. Okay, if the corresponding author is from Oxford, the others is from useless people, no problem. Okay, because journal want to see this is the from the developed country. And our universities are around this Asian universities. These universities say corresponding author should be from my university. That means this research is conducted under my university. So this is a problem. If corresponding author is from the Asian university, journal will not publish it. Or journal give low value. Okay, discriminated. If you give the corresponding author from a top school, then you get easy access. But if you give the corresponding author from your university, then journal don't go. But you don't get the funding, you don't get the benefits, you don't get the KPI, fulfill KPI if you don't become the corresponding author. So there is a contradiction. So you need to find out a way how you make it. Some cases we give many corresponding author. Everyone is the corresponding author of the article. Okay, and some cases you say the negotiate. So you become the first author, I'm the corresponding author. In case of the student thesis or student articles, we prepare a student should be the first author and the supervisor should be the corresponding author like this. Again, it's negotiations. And some cases we mentioned everyone is a corresponding author, double corresponding author, or at the time of submission, one person is the corresponding author, but in that form of the publication, another person is the corresponding author. So it makes lots of problem, and especially it create lots of problem after when you change the corresponding authors. Last week, Emerald, one article is in Emerald. Emerald say they make lots of problems. They said no, when submitted, corresponding author is different. But now after copyright, I want to mention 2 corresponding author. So the corresponding negotiations from the 2 universities and 2 different regions is difficult. So this is a very complex issue. And nowadays it's more and more complex issues. So you need to sort out this issue before you go, okay, before you jump in the publication. Then a student supervision issue, and then the fees or waiver related to submission. So this is also another issue, that if you apply for the fees or you apply for the waiver, does it impact on your submission or processing? And many journals ask for the processing fee. or even this is not open access, they're just for the submission fee. Submission fee is really very dangerous for us, because you submit and next morning there's a rejection which doesn't match with us, and you need to pay $50 or $100. Many journals do it. They do it actually to reduce the load, because too much submission. If it is open submission, thousands of articles submit every day, useless. People don't understand, don't read the journal, even different discipline, just submit it. Okay, so the editorial board try to reduce their load. They impose the submission fee. If you're really interested for this journal and you feel your article should go there, contact with the editor first rather than submit the articles. If editor say, okay, we agree on this topic is fine, it's going the review process, then submit with $50, no problem. Okay, or in some cases editors say, okay, fine, submit it, no need for any submission fee. Editor can remove it, because the purpose is not the money, because the money goes to the publisher, not the editor. So the submission fee is something, a barrier. It's not actually the real fee. Okay, the discipline is not a level playing field. You should understand this one. So try to shift your articles or idea in different disciplines, or multidisciplinary, or add people from different discipline, or submit in different discipline journals, so you can get a better impact factor, better suggestion. Suppose the medicals, engineering, and science journal has high impact factor. All the top impact factor, 100+ impact factor are medical journals. 80 impact factor are science journals. And what is the impact factor of social science? 2, 3. Business, 1. Average impact factor. Huh? So you cannot compare that I am from the science background. Suppose I am the scientist from the medical field, or I'm scientist from the any very unique area. So the impact factor of me and my journals and the impact factor of social science is not the same. Even there are lots of journals that are not even indexed. If you look the journals of the Islamic topics, suppose the Islamic studies, Muamalat, or there are Islamic discipline is a very big discipline now. There are lots of branches, but you don't find any journals in impact factor or SSCI list. There are few, very few, and that actually doesn't cover many things. And these few journals already took the multidisciplinary Islam, not the real core Islamic development. They look the developed country people's write on Islamic topic on this issue. So there are lots of issues that there, and so it's a one sort of syndicate, or it's not a level playing field. The field you are talking is not the same field. You cannot compare. Suppose I said that I publish in a journal that is 20 impact factor, and you said, wow, 20, or maybe that is the lowest in my field. Okay, if anyone say I publish in the 5 impact factor from medical journals, that's the lowest in the medical field. Just like our predatory journals. Many predatory journals also have the very high impact factor in medical field. The lowest, they don't count it, and they're blacklisted journal. But impact factor is very high. So this is discipline wise. And even if you go in the Sharia or Islamic halal issues, Islamic discipline, no impact factor at all, even no scoopers. Very few, only 1 or 2 journals in the impact factor journal from the Islamic, only in the finance field. And the others, whole Islamic field, no need. And no journals at all. That means, does it mean that they don't do anything, knowledge creation, not a good thing? No, that's a good discipline. They have their own knowledge. But now the world is different. If you write something in engineering, science, and engineers or computer science people publish their code continuously. They publish 100 articles in 1 year, no problem. Just publish code. And whatever you write, that's all. In the experiment, whatever you show, this is our experiment, that's all. Nobody can ask question, and you can publish continuously. In one experiment, you publish 20 articles, because every day's result you can publish as article. But social science, business is different discipline. So look at the discipline. Discipline is different, and don't compare that. Oh, he has too much. No, it's not different. It's a different case. Even the index, impact factor, whatever it is, all the number. We are now more focused on the quantity rather than the quality. We are focused on the number, numeric digit. So this is not a level playing field. So but we need impact factor, because we need to survive. This is the very reality of the world. People ask first question, how many articles do you have? In the interview board, in the job, which discipline, doesn't matter. How many web of science do you have? Doesn't matter which discipline. How many scoopers do you have? Okay, in the promotion, the same question. In the promotion board for the whole university, they compare the science field and the social science field in the same way. Okay, how many articles do you have? Okay, that's the problem. My field has no web of science. How can I publish in the web of science? What is your impact factor? No. So we need to negotiate. We need to collaborate. We need to be strategized. Okay, because we need to survive. That's the very basic things. And when the whole academia is in the different directions, they are not on the integrity in that line that they create knowledge. No, they are following in different directions that especially driven by the commercial peoples, business peoples, the publishers, the ranking peoples. They are the commercial people. They are driving us now. It is very unfortunate, and we are following them. In that cases, we need to survive. So be strategized. Now, it's ethics is something different. So you need to reconsider again what is ethical and what is the gray area. How you make your level playing field, or how can you make your impact factors? Suppose if you write on Islamic issues, but now you just link with the women rights, so you can publish in the women journals, women's or gender journals, gender discipline journals. So that has impact factors. Or if you have the Islamic discipline, but you now focus on the technology, how Islamic focusing on using by technology, you can go in the technology journals. That's the very top impact of the journals. You have no core journals in your field, go multidisciplinary journals, otherwise cannot survive. And the future disciplines are coming in different ways. Now this one, there is a report published by the Elsevier. They because Elsevier has huge database, and now they are the syndicate. They are the the shark. They bring all the publication industry with them, buy everything, buy all the publisher. Elsevier buying all the publisher, small publisher, everything. So what are they doing? They have the huge database, and now you see uh, they publish a report, and they said what is the future direction of research going on. And this is China is coming the leading role of all the funding, university ranking, research, and already able to attract top researchers and make a big syndicate among the top journals. If you go all the top journals, top high impact factor journals, even every discipline, our discipline, there must be few Chinese editors. And these editors come through payment. Journals engage the editors through payments, and this payments is official, it's by government, it's not individual. Government assigned them. So whenever you people engage in the journal editorial board, you have lots of things. And there are many journals, they buy it actually. So we are the small guys, we have no need to learn all of this, but the issue is reality. And they spend huge. China nowadays, whenever any article I receive for reviewing from the top journals, 80% of the articles are the Chinese author. It's very unfortunate, too much, and it's also unfortunate that they're not trustworthy. Very fancy article. How can people write so much fancy? Everything is accepted. Everything is on the line. Every diagnostic test is perfect. That's very much questionable things, and their data, their research, their findings is highly manipulated, and they make a syndicate. They have money, spending huge money for the whole academia now, China, and they attract all the top university professors, join with their university collaboration, and bring lots of postdoc, and the postdoc is just a machine to write article to bring the top position in the ranking. And this is a business. Again, the businessman dealing everything. Money drive everything. And then research as academia is going to more technology oriented. Bitcoin, blockchains, artificial intelligence, big data, online trade, teaching, etc. will lead the way of dimension service, will be leading way and disseminate service of whole academia. After 5 years, you will not see this is traditional way. Most of the articles are coming in with artificial intelligence. The normal old softwares will be obsolete very soon. Those who are thinking then Stata is the biggest one, until Stata include the big database, then it will not survive. And many cases, those who are dealing with SPSS already died. So died means you cannot survive in the top journals, cannot hit at all. So you need to be strategized on this issue. Then publications are more open source oriented. Then all the European journals, they focus on the open source, open publication. That's why many open journal is coming, and all of these closed journals, So the subscription journals, LCY journals, they make two options: open access. If you buy a golden open access, you need to pay. Suppose 2,500 or 3,500, you need to pay for the article to get the open access. And the donor agencies actually want the open access. They want to disseminate the knowledge to everyone. So they give the fund, and all the project-based article is open access. That's why all the developed country, Europe and USA developed country, they publish all the open access article now. And again, I tell you, this open access is really very expensive. This is not our $500 open access. Huh? The open access we publish $500, $600, $400. That's actually fake journals. Huh? The open access they publish is based on $2,000, $3,000, $5,000. That's real journals, and they are real money making. So the one issue is here, open access and the closed access. We have sometimes confused that open access means we need to pay. Actually, this is a business model. The publisher are the commercial people. They are not the academicians. They need to publish, and they are here to make business. So when they make two models. One model is the closed access or subscription based. Suppose those authors who are the poor guy like us, the Asian people, has no money, so you publish, but you have no need to pay. Then journals publisher will make money by selling the article. They sell the article. The thousands of universities subscribe the publishers and pay huge amount for the subscriptions, and this is their income. So you publish there, you no need to pay, but the payment will go through the subscription. The buyer will pay it, but don't think this is free. Nothing is free. Huh? They are money maker. So the publishers make money in this way. But now our demand also changed. We said, okay, if we publish open access, my citation will increase, and my donor also want my open access. So they create another option, open access. You pay the fee because we cannot sell your article. Nobody will buy it because it's open. So how can I survive? How my business will survive? So you pay the cost. So the cost they determine, suppose per article 3,500 in LCBR, a model 2,500 is different on publisher. So MDPI is 2,000, 2,500, or Frontier is also 500 to 2,000, like this. So they arrange the different fees in different structure. So again, there is nothing wrong with the open access or payment the fee. The quality doesn't also differ with the publication, open access or closed access, but this is the business model. Think this is the business model and how they make the money in two ways. Okay, so don't make any prejudice about the open access. But look, the quality is in different way. If you pay in the low money for the open access, actually the journal cannot survive, and they are the fake journals. So they publish 1,000 articles in one issue, and within 1 year they close. Okay, so these are the filtering journals. But if the real journals, the real journals, publish charge huge. One journal is Earth Future. Earth Future, $5,000. Oh, but a high impact factor. And their editorial board has a very good editorial board, top East Coast people. Huh? So these are real good journals, and their rejection rate is very high rejection rate, so much rejection rate, but they publish very frequently, very quickly. And then make future focus by linking or working or collaborating with China. The money is there. Okay, so work on these Chinese people. Okay, again the issue, how you make the collaboration, or if it will be easy if you work with the Chinese people or Chinese university. Chinese people means the Chinese citizen. Okay, not the Chinese people in our country, the Chinese citizen, China peoples. Okay, or you can work on the technology oriented works or link with industry, because all the money is coming from the industry. Funding is more coming from the industry than the public sector, and make it the open sources. Okay, there are lots of things. Okay, the rest is, the rest of the things is very easy. That's how you publish. You already know it, how you publish it. So there are lots of different types of article. Get familiar with the articles and know different types of articles. And some cases, if you publish one thing, so you need to change it 30%, at least 30%, and make a new unique idea. Then you can publish it in other places. And how you select the journals, there are many issues. How can you select the journals? Okay, you know how to select the journal ranking or everything. There's a different things. I need to finish it very quickly. Okay, so this is the another thing, very creepy. We need to know. This is just I wrote it last night. So categories of journal. There's a time, fees, and quality. So I categorize journal. There are three categories of journals. First category of journals are unpaid and good quality journals. But these journals take so long time, like 6 to 24 months to publish an article. So this is really very difficult. Suppose if you go for the Emerald, Elsevier, Springer, Taylor Franchise, and all the good publishers, they take long time. They take long time to publish. It take around 2 years. Sometimes accept within 6 months or 1 year, then take publish another 1 year. So how can we fulfill our KPI? That's a big trouble. We are in a big problems, in especially people from these regions, if we target this journal. But this is the solid journal. This is really good knowledge-based journal. Second category is journals are those who maintain high quality, but with also they have the high rejection rate, but publish very quickly within 1 month, but charges very high because they maintain the quality and they maintain time, everything very frequent, very efficient, and need huge charge. Okay, and make it open access. So you need to pay 5,000 USD, 10,000 USD, 2,000 USD. So those who have the money, they publish it. All the European developed country publishing these journals because they have the money, they have the fund. All the fund make it easy. And then the third category of journal. Suppose if you have 400K in your project, it doesn't matter. You give 5,000. And within this 400K, they allocate 50,000 for this publication. So it's very easy, you just pay it. And the third category of journals, okay, the third category of journals publish very quickly, within 1 to 2 months. And too easy or almost no review process. Take some charges as processing fee to make article open access, suppose 200, 300, 400, 500, like this, which are mostly considered as a predatory journals as well as highly discouraged to publish. So this is the trap. Now we are in the trap of time, money, or the quality. Okay. Again, the same thing. Again, the same thing I mentioned is network, manuscript, and money, fund. So we are in the same trap. If you don't understand the trap, you cannot get out of this trap. So try to get a good idea on this trap. So then I ask many people, why you publish the predatory journals? You know this is bad. Yes, I know. Why you publish it? Okay. Then we get lots of different types of opinion. People say because when they urgently need article to fulfill degree requirement, especially the PhD student, if they don't publish within 1 month, next month they need to pay another fee. Okay, they don't want to pay the fee for the another semester, don't want to longer their program, just publish and submit. Okay, so okay, then our case is fulfill KPI. Okay, December month is only 1 month. I need to fulfill my KPI. I need one scopus. Okay, how can I make it within 1 month? Because in normal process cannot, and I also don't have much money. $2,000 cannot pay. So only option is predatory journal. Then fulfill promotion criteria. Okay, my promotion is due only for one scopus. How can I do it? I need, so if I wait for another 2 years, that's I cannot get promotion in 2 years. So as early as possible, I make publication and submit the document. Other cases, there are many good articles also published in the predatory journals. I find many good articles also because they are poorly written. Their English is not good. Okay, in many languages, suppose in Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, or these regions, or Asian, India, English is very poor. Or even the Middle East, some universities, some people, some areas, the English is poor. But article is very good, knowledge is very good, data is very good, everything is very nice. English is not readable at all, not readable. Not a single sentence is grammatically correct. So they cannot go access in any journal. So they can go in this predatory journals. But the article is not good, knowledge is good, but for the language, they need to go in the predatory journals. And some cases, the data is old. Okay, this is the article from my project or my thesis 5 years ago, 10 years ago. Now nobody like to publish it. Okay, so what should I do? Go in the predatory journals. Okay, then no times for further work on it or improve it, or difficult to adjust the reviewer comments. Okay, my article is very fine, everything is ready, but there is a problem. My measurement model, in the measurement, I take a wrong variable. Okay, now if I want to change it, I need to change the whole article. So rather than I publish it, okay. So what to do? Predatory journal. So these are the many reasons people go actually predatory journals. So these journals should be considered as a deathbed option. I say when you're dying, said what the medicine you give, you will die forever. Okay, no problem. But just try to alive you for another 1 minute. Eh? So give what the doctor give you deathbed medicine. It doesn't matter. Doctor, no, you will die. You are going to die. So doctor give one medicine. Try to leave you another 1 minute, but it doesn't matter in future. Eh? So this is like a deathbed medicine. Eh? Don't take it as a regularly. Eh? It's a dangerous chemical. So before submitting the journal, think thousands times. Check many issues, including the survival time. Most important consideration is look the survival time of the journals. Suppose you apply for the promotion, and you submit in the journals, but your committee meeting will happen after 4 months. But within 4 months, this journal will vanish. Then you are in the double trap. So look at least how long the journal will survive. So does it fulfill your criteria, your death criteria? You are applying for the degree, but before you apply, you get the award, the journal is already cracked. Then you are in a big trouble. So need to consider issues. So especially the pituitary journal must be avoided. Pituitary journal. In normal cases, don't go it. Don't go it. Because there are many issues how you understand the pituitary journals. If you search in the online, you'll get it. And this unfortunate, the very recent, only this year, one article was published, and it said the list of the countries who publish in the pituitary journal. In the social science, we are the champion, the Malaysian. Okay. In the physical science, also we are the same. And this is the pituitary journal. So, and also Indonesians are also here in the third. Indians are here. Who publish in the pituitary journals? You see, all of these are the Asian countries, Asian, Middle East, all the developing countries, or the Middle East, Libya, Egypt, those who are in the trouble and those who are financially and economic or aware trouble, not safety. So these people are publishing in the these pituitary journals. But it's time to think differently, because you cannot survive in this way. Cannot survive. If you like, you can publish now, but after 5 years, what will happen? When you apply for the professorship, it's gone. This journal is useless. So that's actually kill you. But if anybody apply for professor now, he use this, he get the professorship, very fine. He's happy. But what will happen? The newcomer, you are a fresh graduate, you just join as a lecturer, publish PhD journals, and the long way you need to go till the professorship. And another issue is fake journal or hijacked journal. Some journals are very good and top journals and high impact factor journals, but they are not the English journals. They don't have any website or English website. Then the other scam group, they make an English website. This is a false website. They use everything exactly same, the original journal, same ISI, same front page, everything same, but this is a fake website. So they also collect article and also publish article, but this is a fake website, fake journals. So if you publish and pay in this journal, they actually, it will not counted as the original journals, and it will not counted in this Scopus, cannot appears in the Web of Science, not appears in anywhere. So this is another parallel false journal. So called the hijacked journal. Be careful about this. Be careful about the hijacked journal. If you search in the online, you'll find the list of the hijacked journals. Some journals already hijacked, and many people give money to for this. Okay, this is another important thing. A special issue. There's a big taboo about the special issue. In Indonesia, they consider a special issue is low grade, low quality. Okay, this is another thing. It's very interesting. A special issue. His name is special. Okay, so that means there is something special here. And there are some journals, if you look the top journals, suppose the high impact factor top journals, they issue the special issue. And these special issuers are really, really knowledgeable things. This special issue actually give you the future direction, what is the knowledge going in this direction. If you subscribe any top journals and look at their special issue and see what the topic they bring is here. There's the topic is bring from the future. After 5 years, what the knowledge is coming, they just introduce it as a special issue. All the special issue in the top journals are really, really future directions. If you go, you will get the what is coming in future. Okay, but the other things what happen. And then prestigious is also prestigious, that especially in the editor. Suppose I'm the editor of a top journal, so I want to become an editor of another journal, but not possible. So I make a special issue in there. Okay, and then also the guest editorship. Suppose I am not an editor in any journal, so I want to become I want to like an editor. So how I can go there? So I take a special issue as a guest editor. Then if I have more experience, then I can apply for a full editorship in a good journal. Okay, so this is the way to become a editorship in the good journal. Then special issues are highly promoted and bring high citations. Some cases highly promoted, and if you publish there, is bring high citation, and it is also topic oriented. So it's maybe high focus. Some cases very high focus. Suppose if you see that now all the journals publish especially on the COVID-19, so that especially is very highly focused, and it's now open access, freely open access, and it has more citation. So a special issue is time saver. Some cases, a special issue has the commitment that we'll publish within this year, in this September. The last date of submission is this September, published by December. So this is committed. So if you are time saver, you need to fulfill your KPI, you can submit in the special issue. Okay. And then some cases linked with the conference. Some conference said it's a promise published with this journal. That's something creepy. If you promise, that means there is a problem. And some conference, if you go through conference, but the regular process, follow the regular process, no guarantee of publication, that's also fine. This is the way conference is surviving, because conference need to survive. So conference survive through the journals. They make a collaboration, and editors come in conference, they give a talk. So this is win-win situation. They give also reputation, they bring some money. And some cases, especially issues money driven, and this is true. Many of the journals, especially issue, even top journal, high impact factor journals, they take this special issue with money. You need to pay lots of money. Editor pay lots of money, and editors, guest editors also collect money from the other authors. And this is called informally, but everybody knows it, because and publishers know it. So publisher allow it because this actually encourages editors to work, because publisher job is bring more article, more publication, so they can sell it more. And they don't pay anything to editor and reviewer. So what is the benefit of the editor? So editors, it's like you and me, they are full-time job people, they're very busy, this is a voluntary job, so they just engage it. And if they don't have any incentive, they don't do it. So they take this special issue, and they charge an administrative fee on the special issue and collect the money from the authors. And many cases it's not with formal, the journal don't issue any invoice on this issue, but the journal knows it, everybody knows the issue. In the academy, in the publisher, everybody knows it, because it's a win-win situation. Otherwise editors will have no motivation, they will not work on this issue. But the many people don't know this issue, that's why we always get the rejection. And this network is also here. So if you have the network, then your friend is in the special issue editor, you can publish theirs. So through the networking, they also can make the money through the networking, collect some administrative fee. So in the special issue also, suppose it's an arrangement. You submit one article in this special issue, but your article is little bit weak. So if this article go in the normal process, or this editor, a special issue editor, send it in the normal process, then reviewer will not accept it. So what to do? Okay, you, the special issue editor, make a commitment. Okay, I will make an arranged review. The reviewer will make an arranged review. The reviewer will review the article 10 times. I will give you a chance 10 times, not reject your article until it will publish. But the condition is you must improve continuously up to mark of the quality. So that's the point. A special issue. The editor take the money or the favor, take the money to give you a favor that he will not reject your article or text rejection or not after review rejection. He will publish your article, but you need to improve the quality. So if our articles has a um, uh, if I have a guarantee that my article will be accepted, I'm ready to review it 10 times, improve it, improve it, improve it, improve it. No problem. I'm ready to pay and improve it. Even my article is not, then it is not the low quality, it's the high quality as the standard of the same journals. But they give a favor. Based on this favor, they take the money. They also use the money for the review. Reviewer is not the free reviewer, because this is the paid reviewer. Otherwise, free reviewers will not accept this article. Free reviewer will not it. So only paid reviewer, arranged reviewer will do it. Okay. In that cases, this is a money matter. We need to pay. So this is the known issue, and we need to take it easily. It's nothing about, I don't say it's Ethical, unethical issue is the issue of arrangement. Okay, some cases, the Indonesian case, they said special issue are easy and low weighted. Actually, this is not the true. So my understanding is a special issue may have a special arrangement, but the quality is as same as the regular issue of the journal, because the editor, even the guest editor, accept any article, the chief editor can reject the article. So chief editor has the right of the full right of the check before final acceptance of the article. In that cases, chief editor will not publish a low grade article because this is his reputation, his journal reputation. So they ensure the quality of the article at that level of journals, but they give you a chance to work on it several times, and that's why you need to pay. And that's why editor, there are lots of special issues. If you go in any journal in Elsevier, hundreds of special issues. Yeah, too much, because this is the money making now. And the rest, okay, I need to finish. This no, or you know by yourself. Escape development. So okay, this is very important. Just one thing. Before, when we write, we submit the article, we publish the article. Who is our audience? The editor. The first thing is our editor is our audience. You must target the editor, not the other people. Forget the other people. If editor happy, then other people will happy. If editor don't happy, then nobody will happy because it will not go in the press. First, think about the editor. Editor is your first audience of the article. Convince him. Write the article with the target to convince the editor. Look what the benefit of the editor, what editors want. Okay, so first of all, many journals use a system of initial screening. Okay, they look the format, style, English, referencing by the journal staff. Then it's go to the editor. Then when manuscript goes to the managing editor, he or she may reject without sending it to the review. This is called the desk rejection. And 85-95% case they do it. Suppose for an example, American Economic Review that has the scope of publishing 4 issue in 1 year. Every issue 10 articles, so they publish 140 articles in 1 year. So if you are the author, 3% in one article, so 40 into 3, total 120 authors can publish in American Economic Review in 1 year, and total 40 articles will publish in 1 year. But can you imagine how many people are ready to submit in American Economic Review? Just consider Harvard, how many professors? 1,000 plus professors in Harvard targeting American Economic Review. And then what about the others? Oxford, Cornell, Yale, Cambridge. And there is now more than 100 Nobel laureates still alive in this world. What will happen? They just send a blank paper with their name that should be published. That's the reputation of the journals, that one Nobel laureate write in my journals. Whatever he write doesn't matter. His name is the thing. So the reputations is the issue. It's a win-win situation. You need to understand what the things motive editors. So editors look the reputation of his journals. Editor looks the impact factor of his journal. This is his motivation. Which thing improve the quality of my journals? Which thing improve the impact factor of my journal? Then I can say I am the editor of a Q1 journal. My journal has impact factor of 8. So that's the thing, his motivation. Okay. So in the peer review process or grossly overloaded huge publications, so they reject instantly within just 1 minute. Within 1 minute, they take the decision. Some journals give the notification, now this article is handling by this editor, and within another 1 minute, rejection. The journal editor open it and reject it because he just look at the 1-2 sentence and he said, no, I have no time to spend for this one anymore because I have lots of articles. Okay, I can publish 200 articles in 1 year. I shouldn't review 1,000 articles in 1 year. Not it. I can publish 200 articles in 1 year. I take maximum 400 articles in 1 year. That's all. And the extra I don't need. So extra just instant desk rejection. Then within 400, which go review process, then I take 300, 200 fine. Okay, so some top journals are capacity. This is a capacity problem. Journal has no scope of publish thousands, so they don't review thousands. It's not about the quality. Many cases, it's not about the quality. It's the capacity issue. Okay, and another issue is important. That is some journals, editor target is to increase the impact factor. So some journals look at the Nature. Nature is the impact factor 57, like this. Nature is the top science journals, and 23% of the article of Nature never cited, never ever cited. 23% of article. So that means 1/4 article of Nature has no citation. Can you imagine? So this is a big burden for the editor. Now editors are big concerned that should I publish this or not? Why they publish? Because this is pure knowledge, very good knowledge, innovative knowledge. Nature is very difficult. Without a very innovation, you cannot publish them. But after innovation, nobody read, nobody cite the journal because this is very unique and niche area of the knowledge. So no other people works on this area. Very few people works on this area. So no citation. So now it's a very big discredit of the journal because this 25% article is a burden for them. And this 25% article reduce their impact factor. So what they happen? They're very cautious, very cautious. They just don't just look the knowledge. They look the market. They look the popular item, popular topic. That how you see many journals just okay. For an example, energy. Around 10, 15 energy journals. There's never exist before 10 years. Within last 10 years, all of them are in Q1. And most of these articles are useless, no knowledge, just repetition, replica. Why? This is the popular topic. They cite each other. This citation is a game. They cite each other. It's not about the knowledge. Cite each other, increase, publish too much, publish too much, publish too much. Citation, publication, publication. They go high impact factor. But if you go, there are many low impact factor journals. Suppose impact factor 0.2, far qualified than in lots of energy journals. And many energy journals publish also very craft things. We also do it because we need impact factor. I also publish energy journals because I need impact factor. That's the way, but we need to be strategized. We need to be we know what are we doing. If we know what are we doing, we will survive. We know what is wrong, what is right, because we can diversify our risks. We can diversify our portfolio. It's not only just in one direction, but those who don't know, they've been in the big trouble because you need to survive not only now, you need to survive until your professorship, until the academia go another 30 years, 40 years. You don't know how the changes will come another 40 years. So you should be strategized on all of this issue. And look the West, what are they doing? Look the top schools, where are they publishing? Look the big professors, where are they doing? Now we are only struggling for the citation H index, but they are no more in the H index or citation. They go for the social impact. They go for the dimension. There is a one thing dimension, alt metrics. So there are lots of research on the alt metrics. How, what time, if you promote your article in the social media that people will read, they think how many people now read your article in the social media, how many social media people talk about the issue. No more academia, no more scientific people. You write for the scientific people, they do work on it, that's fine. But the donor give the money, the country spend for you, you are doing the research for the people. But how many people are benefited actually from this? So they want to see what the social media is dealing on this issue. How many times people talk in the Facebook, in the Twitters, in the blog, in the Wikipedia about your articles. That is the indications of the impact. So now there's another dimension. We are far behind than this. We are still struggling for the scopus and citation. So open your eyes, look at there and think what are they doing. If you open any good journals in the Elsevier's, on the Emerald or Taylor Francis, they show the alt metrics. So learn what is the alt metrics, how to improve the alt metrics, how to increase the citations. It's not just only scopus and publications. There are lots of other things. So you need to work on it. You need to learn on it, follow them, and make a good team. Make a good team. So as a one person, it's not a one-man show. We cannot do everything alone. Make a team. Make a team. Work with somebody who is experienced. Work with somebody who knows. After that, when you mature, you learn it, you can do it alone. You will become a boss. Then you can take your subordinate. You can take your students. Then you can work with them. But now, until go there, publish at least 10 articles with those who are mature, those who are the established researchers. Okay, and work with them, then it will make open many things. It will open many doors for you. If you work with established researchers, we also still working with established researchers. I also work with the American, European people. Otherwise, I cannot survive. I cannot publish. This is not a fair world. It's a discrimination. There is a lots of game is there. Academy is no more fair. There are lots of games. So you people need to work with somebody who is experienced. Need to work in the Western people. Need to work who have channels, who have network, who has fun. It's if you're just struggling with your article, you cannot survive anymore in here. Okay, another few things just at the end. Okay, everyone's problem is different, everyone's life target is different, everyone's success is different. Success uh, is a not a is not a destination, it's a journey. We are continuing this journey, and we know my success is different than our success. Success is not just an article or publication number or famous or citation. No, it's something different. It's maybe the mental health also important. We are destroying our health, we are destroying our family relationship, we are destroying our social relationship, everything just for publications and reputations. So you should have a you should think how to make a good balance. Balancing life is very important, work life balance is very important. We are now in the pandemic working 24 hours. That's actually not good. That's actually destroying our health, destroying our relationship with family. Maintain the good relationship, maintain the work-life balance. You know how much you target, should set up your target, should know how much you should go, how long you can go, or how far you should try. So uh, try your best, but don't sacrifice everything only for publication and research or professional. Your life is also your life, your health is your life. This health is very important. Our PhD students are destroying their health, our researchers are destroying their health just to fulfill the KPI. Okay, so take as you can. So and another issue is, don't think is a battle, one battle you finish, one article finish, one project finish, that's all, one promotion finish, that's all. No, it's a wire. Life is not a battle, it's a wire. It's a continuous, lots of battle, one after another. It's for everyone, not only for one individual. So uh, it as a sustainable way. Know your nature, know your way, know your type. Prepare for the problem, prepare for the issues in your life that's coming. Accept the challenge, positive, then try your best with beautiful passions. The sovereign genre, passion is very important. The problem will not continue your whole life. Rely on it, and one day, inshallah, the problem will solve and you can do it good. I hope everyone will do good, inshallah. Thank you everyone for your patience. You already show lots of patience. It's too long, eh? Thank you everyone. If you have any questions, you can ask now.
All right, okay, Dr. Mahmudu, thank you very much for the wonderful presentations. Huh? So now we have a Q&A sections. For those who have questions, you can ask now.
I know you have lots of questions. You can ask questions, no problem. Eh? Don't shy.
Okay, you can either write your question in the text, or you can just ask Dr. Mahmudu directly. Or if you feel like you don't want to ask now, you want to ask later, also can. Please feel free to email Dr. Mahmudu later on if you have any other questions.
I give my email address here in the message box. So if anyone need, you can email me in this or contact me here.
All right, so it seems that there's no questions from the audience. Okay, so Dr. Mahmudu, thank you very much for this wonderful presentation. So I hope in the future you can share more talk with us so that we can learn a lot from you. Okay, so that's it for today. Thank you very much. Yeah, for those who haven't scanned, you can scan the QR code for attendance, and this attendance only for UUM staff.
Thank you everyone. See you again, inshallah. Stay safe and Stay with your family, keep your bondage with family, make a strong networks, and also make a strong bondage with God. Make a strong networks with God, not only the people. Thank you everyone, and see you again, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.
Organizer, could you please add me manually for QR attendant?
Sure. Can you please write your name and your staff number?
Okay. My staff number 2553.
Hold on. 255 2553. All right. Okay.
Marhaiza. Thank you so much, Dr.
All right,
Tia.
no problem. All right, no problem. All right.
Okay, there is one question in the message that says sometimes we have very tight time and the journals keep rejecting our papers. How should we strategize to get published? Okay, Abdul Monim. Okay, one person asked privately one question. Okay, that's the thing I tell you. I tell one experience. So some students, they work on one article and they submit the articles. The article is very nice, everything is very fine. They submit the articles and got rejection 7 times, 8 times. And then I said, okay, so show me the article, let me see. Then they show me the articles. I gave some comments, they adjust the comments, I make some formatting, and then we check the English and improve the articles as it goes in the review process. They submit it, and the article directly goes in the review process. This is SSCI Q1 journals, high impact factor. That's directly go in the review process, and we got the review comments, very minor correction, and now we are doing the correction. So the point is, it is not the issue. The issue is you should understand what the editor wants. If you don't understand what the editor wants, that's a big problem. You cannot convince him. Otherwise, he rejected instantly. So editor don't read the article. Editor has no time to read the articles. Editor just look here and there in some key points, some key area. If you make this key area very great, editor accept it instantly, send it to review. Whenever you avoid the text rejection, you can enter the review process. That means you have 50% chance. In the review process, they give you minor correction, major correction, rejection, and many people give many things. So you have a chance. At least one rejection, one major correction, one minor correction, that you have a chance to work on it. But if you cannot convince the editor, so you cannot go in the process. So first try best to avoid the text rejection. So to avoid the text rejection, your article should be very good. We say the first love at the first sight. So editor should love the article at the first sight. If the first sight, if you fall in love with anybody at the first sight, you don't look at her character or his character, look at his wealth, look at his family ties, everything. You just look her face and you love her, okay, or love him, okay. So in that cases, editor look at the article, just the makeup, just the arrangement, formatting, some key area, and then he agree, okay, he send it to the review process. The point is, editor think, you know, this very critical point that I'm looking, that means you are expert. Somebody who gained this expertise to fill up this all this critical point, that means he's already mature person, he's already mature researcher, and he has editorial experience. You get this experience after you publish many articles, or you get this experience after you work in the editorial board many long time. So if you can convince the editor, that means you are a good researcher. But the editor don't read your article initially, he just look the makeup, your makeup, how many makeup you do. So if you do it correctly, that's why I tell you, work with somebody and learn. Without learning, it's actually, you cannot go. You submit, get rejection, submit, get rejection, submit, get rejection, and you will be demotivated. I hope you get the idea.